Mr. Spurlock? Mr. Burris? Thank you. Good evening. Tonight we have Mr. Guy Durkee from Oak Baptist Church that's going to come to the microphone.
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for, Lord, your authority in our lives. And Lord, we pray that, Lord, you would be in charge of this meeting as you are in control of all things. Lord, I just pray for each of the council members as, Lord, they strive to be integrous and to lead the city in the way that you would want them to. Lord, we just pray for each person here, Lord, those that will be speaking, presenting things, Lord, that you will give them a peace, that you will allow them to communicate clearly and well, Lord, and we just pray for unity within this group and within this city. We just pray again that you would continue to, Lord, bless this area, help it to be a light to the world, and we pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Mr. Durkee, thank you so much. Appreciate you. I'd like to call the City Council May 19th, 2026 meeting to order. Roll call.
Larry,
Here.
Daniel,
Here.
Misty,
Here.
Tim, Mike.
Here.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. All right, I'm seeking approval of the agenda. Oh, real quickly, I'm needing to add K and approval to appoint the vacancy of the City Council Alderman Ward 1 Seat 2 to the agenda.
May I ask about that? Can we move that to, I mean, it's fine if we want to put it at the end, but I thought we might do that at the beginning, after number 9, make that 9A.
Does anyone have an issue with that? I don't have an issue with that at all.
I
We wanna
mean,
do that.
get that out of the way. Either way is fine.
Council, it's
but
up
I
to you.
think, I thought that was my understanding, what we were gonna do. And
It didn't get put on the agenda, so
right, but
that's why I added
we
it
can add it
to the end.
on 9.
I think Mr. Farrar was pretty spot on when he said that we must take action tonight on this matter. So I think, yeah, the sooner the better.
Okay,
So I like Mr. Washco. Yes.
okay, whoever makes the motion can add that.
Okay, well, I'll make the motion that we move K to 9A, appointment of new council members. And I don't know if this needs to be stated, but we'll assume that we use the same protocol that we use for the appointment of planning commission members, in that each candidate will have an opportunity to present his or herself to the council and the opportunity for questions from council.
That is correct.
Okay, so,
And I did find out that we do not have to go to executive session. We can vote right here.
but we can choose to. if we
Correct,
choose.
correct. Yes. I was just letting you know that you didn't have to.
All right, thank you. So with that amendment to the agenda, I'll make a motion to approve.
I will second that.
Roll call.
Daniel,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Misty.
Yes. Okay, approval of the April 21st, 2026 City Council minutes and May 7th, 2026 special City Council minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I will second.
Roll call.
Daniel,
Yes.
Misty,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Financial report, Ms. Artemani?
Okay, this is for April 2026. City General, income was 601,738.28. Expenses, 366,633.33. Left a positive operating income of 235,104.95. Water and sewer, income, 499,461.15. Expenses was $420,095.90. Left a positive operating income of 79,365.25. And for streets, income was 97,183.82. Expenses was 217,259.05. Left a negative operating income of $120,075.23. And a large amounts were for building repairs, engineering fees, and the street improvements. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Move on to our department reports. Museum.
The Tontitown Historical Museum Board of Directors met on April 6th at City Hall, and we are preparing for Heritage Day on May 31st. That's going to be noon to 2. We are also kind of looping in America 250, are part of our celebrations, which are going to really go all summer. There's another part on here that will kind of go into that. But for Heritage Day, Red Door is providing us pulled pork sliders. The Tontitown Winery is bringing their grape ice cream back, and we're also going to have just some fun games. Got 2 new exhibits for everyone to come look at, so it should be a good time. And we've also got live music from Mike Franco and his daughter Alex. And then summer camp, we have 7 students signed up so far. That's a little amendment to what I have in there. We had 1 more sign up since I wrote this, and we've got a lot of fun things planned. We just hope that the weather holds out. We have a really nice 3 days. We're going to be making food in the park. Couple days, we're going to be playing bocce. We're going to be stomping grapes, and all of that, learning history. We are still digitizing, just kind of working our way through. We had to kind of make a quick shift with our storage, so we moved some stuff around and we're back at it this week though. Visitors for April was 9, and we've already seen a big uptick with the nice weather that we've been having, so that number will go up through the summer. America 250 block party. Shiloh Museum of Ozark History is hosting a big block party on July 11th. They reached out to us to have us host a booth, as well as they have asked me to speak at the event. So I will be speaking on Tontitown history and just our American story. And finally, we are going to be losing our lovely Julie Salling. She has accepted a teaching position at Arkansas Arts Academy, and will be moving on this summer to kind of start getting her classroom ready and start doing all of the stuff that she needs to do. But she will be dearly missed. We hope you'll be able to stop by before she leaves and just wish her luck. The position is still currently accepting applications. I've got this posted not only on the website, on our social media, but also on Indeed. So we've actually got a lot of applicants. So we're kind of sifting through. We'll hopefully have someone hired by mid-June and then start training them by the end of the month. And we will not meet in June due to Heritage Day. The next meeting will be the first Monday of July.
Thank you. All right, moving on to our police, Chief Jennison.
For the month of April, we responded to 1,162 calls for service, filed 17 accident reports, served 73 warrants, 1,440 outstanding warrants, a little over 1.7 million outstanding fine amounts for those warrants. 1,257 training hours year to date, 205 total citations, 30 for speed, 133 other traffic violations, 11 criminal citations, 31 city ordinance of proper driving, 655 total warnings, 117 for speed, 538 for other traffic warnings. Any questions?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Moving on to fire, Chief Crew. I apologize for the technical difficulties we are having.
For the month of April, we had 52 calls, 29 EMS, 3 fire, 8 MVAs, 5 fire alarms, 6 service calls, and 1 false call. April 2026, 190 calls to date. April 2025, 192 calls for service to date, decrease of 2 calls to date over 2025. Our average response time to en route is 1 minute 8 seconds. Average on scene to arrival is 4 minutes 29 seconds.
Thank you.
Question.
Any questions? And none, thank you, sir. We'll move on to Public Works. Mr. Clark.
The Brush Creek Sewer Interceptor Project, as I mentioned last meeting, we had to get approval from Springdale Water and Elm Springs as we were going through their service areas. I did attend the Springdale Water Utilities Commission meeting today with an agreement that they signed, so we have that piece behind us. We just got to get the approval of Elm Springs, which they don't have a problem with it. It's just a matter of getting the paperwork done. So next will be easements. That's the hard part. The only other thing I had on here was that the Wildcat Creek Harmon water line extension, the survey has been ordered on that. That's first step in that process. So as soon as that gets done, we can start doing the design on the water extension project. Might also mention that we have started putting in cellular water meters. We're up to about 80 right now. We just received another shipment today or yesterday, so we're going to be adding those as quickly as we can. If you have any questions about those, feel free to give us a call. Thank you.
Moving on. Building report, Mr. Latham, and also community development. I'll just put them both together.
As I said, the last 3 months, our commercial is down, but our residential, I think, is going to be probably up in the record area of the 2023, if you can see that. We had another, I think, 7 permits that were issued, or at least this last week in Renly Ray. So things are going well in the housing area. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay, moving on to community development. Don't have anything scheduled on the planning commission for action for them. So we've been wanting to get David Carroll of CEI come in, talk about some of the trends that we're seeing in development. The planning commission will in next year will actually start looking at the comprehensive plan and the future land use. So getting some ideas of what the future holds. Here in Tontitown, he will be addressing. The council wants to attend. That would probably be a good idea if you're interested in that. Street and stormwater, as you know, 412 Barrington, you're going to be looking at a resolution to try to move forward on what the original plan was tonight. The first phase of Fletcher's really starting to come together. If you haven't been out there, they're starting to put sidewalks in and the trail system in, and should probably be ready for final here in a couple of weeks. So we're wanting to move on the second phase of Fletcher. Actually, the design is done. We just need to get the right of way. We obtained a appraisal on the property, and I'll be bringing that appraisal to you all on the COW meeting, getting some direction on how to proceed on that. We're still on our 2025 street improvements. I will tell you that I did receive word from APAC that starting on Memorial Day week, they will be out doing their work on Dow, Kelly, and part of Clink, which was what that money that Waste Management gave us along with some of the trade-offs. So there'll be those repairs along that street, those streets, sometime at the end of this month. I will be bringing you a cost of actually repairing on Reed Valley. Not Reed Valley, excuse me. Is it right? Yeah, Reed Valley. Where we had the tree roots coming up. And so we're going to be addressing that at the next Cal meeting for your consideration. I will be meeting with Waste Management this week to discuss the landfill road access fee and how that's all going to be put into place. So wish me good luck. I will tell you that we do have the cost estimates that we put together, Zach and his crew put together, of how the fee ought to be set. So that'll be something that we'll be addressing to you all. I think I sent that cost estimate to you. Stormwater work, we're beginning on South Barrington. Scott's crew was out on South Barrington this week. We hired to do some potholes, identifying where the Washington water line is at. Of course, it's in a right of way right along the ditch. So they have a decision to make. I understand they're going to try to address that at their next meeting, whether they're going to relocate it or deadline it and give us a customer. So we'll see how that works out. On the grants, good news on the corridor study. As you know, we applied for a TAP grant, or excuse me, no, it was the STP grant. There was over $40 million of grant submittals with only about 15 million to distribute. So we were lucky. We scored really high on it because it's a regional corridor, and so it'll move traffic east and west. So that won't be appropriated till next year in 2027. So the big commission will vote on it at the end of this month on Wednesday. So I assume that probably passes as we move forward. TAP grant was submitted. We did receive a couple phone calls from RDOT just clarifying on that. This is the one over here on Zupo, along with some drainage where the new community building will be put together here. Finally, on the hazardous mitigation, Congress finally appropriated the money through FEMA. So we should be being able to apply for that. I think it's due sometime in August. This is on the Spinoto area, which is the next in line regarding our stormwater plan that we put together. Other things, the HR consultant contract was tabled. We were asking for some additional information. I think, Danny, you gave me that. I sent that to the consultant, and he's preparing that additional information along with funding on it. So we should be ready to go at our next CAL meeting. Community building bids will be open this coming next Tuesday, the 26th. We have a lot of people interested. I know that they had over 13 plans just a couple weeks ago, and so we anticipate having some good there. Coventry Environmental will be making a presentation our next CAL. Talks about how we can actually monitor what's going on around the landfill when in regards to odors. So if that's something you want to consider, we can put an ordinance together and we'll figure out how to at least find some way to be able to tie it into a nuisance. And the only other thing is the Parks Committee has been very active, involved in putting your family fun day together. Remember, that's June 27th. They've got a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be a very active area. So we hope everybody will be able to come out and join them. Any questions on anything?
Mark, I just want to say thank you for sending out the emails weekly to the council members, letting them know what's going on. I appreciate you doing that very much.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Number 9, approval of the city council members to waive the 3 reading rule for all ordinances on the agenda. Do I
I'll
have a motion?
Yes, you do. I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Roll call.
Misty,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Moving on, this is where we did the change. Agenda A, an approval to appoint the vacancy of City Council Alderman, Ward 1, Seat 2. Mr. Austin Brown, do you mind coming to the podium?
Good evening. My name is Austin Brown. I live over on Steele, and I have for the past 4 years while studying at the University of Arkansas. I recently graduated, now working full-time in Springdale in property management. And so I have a little bit of familiarity with real estate and municipal processes. I appreciate living in Tontitown because it has a very small neighborly reputation. And I think that's something that's important to uphold as we maintain responsible growth in our community. And I would be honored to serve alongside you and would be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Right, I do have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you also do I know that you're a photographer.
Yes, ma'am.
And that you helped with our police calendar?
Yes, ma'am, I did. Yes.
But that's what I was told. I just wanted to verify.
Yes, ma'am. I do first responder photography all throughout Northwest Arkansas. That was a hobby I started in freshman year, and it's been a really great way to meet some awesome members of our community and support first responders and publicize what sort of equipment they have in order to keep us safe.
I heard you were very respectful.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Yes, sir.
So why do you want to serve on this Tontitown City Council, and what specific issues do you believe most need our attention as of right now?
It's a very good question. I would consider this to be politics of sorts, even though it's on a smaller scale and with a smaller community. But I also recognize the importance of it and the importance of being involved in our community and being a civil servant. I am an Eagle Scout, and Boy Scouts instills a very strong obligation that we're involved in our local communities. And so when this opportunity came up, it was one of those things where I read it and said, well, that's not something I considered before. But I think it'd be a great opportunity to be involved in this community. As for specific issues, I wouldn't necessarily, I don't have any off the top of my head that I can identify. I heard mention of Reed Valley and the tree roots, and I'd say that would certainly be something that is important driving down that. It's a little bumpy.
Mhm.
But as far as specific community issues, I don't have any per se.
Any other questions?
I do have a couple more.
Oh, go ahead.
How would you balance supporting growth and development while protecting existing residents and city services?
So I think I view Tontitown as we have a main thoroughfare, which is very populated with 412. And that, like I said in my letter, that's brought some amazing growth, a lot of new construction, a lot of benefits for the town. But then, like you say, it is important to balance that small town feel of more of suburban area. And one thing I know that the city has prioritized is not allowing multifamily and multiple subdivisions into the community very often. We can't build more than one residence on one parcel of land at a time unless that's obviously approved. And I think that's a great way to balance, as you say, that small town feel and having kind of larger homes and more quality residents, while also understanding that growth is coming.
Mhm.
And that's something that every town handles and every town has to handle. And I think 412 is a great way to bring that in.
Do you have any personal, business, family, or any financial relations that would create a conflict of interest on voting on any future matters that you could see?
Not currently, no, sir.
And what do you feel, or how comfortable do you feel with your presence here at city council, do you feel like you can make the obligation to come twice a month? And if there is ever a special meeting, to attend those and be here? For example, I'll put myself in the spotlight. Recently, my son was diagnosed with an illness and flown to Little Rock. But I thought it was pretty important for me to be here tonight. So I'm here tonight to, be here and fulfill my duty. Do you foresee yourself having any conflicts that would prohibit you from being here?
Well, first of all, I hope for a speedy recovery for your son. I'm sorry to hear that. And yes, I do believe that I have the ability to make that commitment to be here. Yes.
Thanks, sir.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, coming into a council role, you may not always know codes or policies.
Mhm.
How much time are you willing to put in to learn our codes, our policies, and how everything works?
As far as that being an open-ended question, as much time as necessary in order to adequately answer and vote on the necessary issues. Absolutely.
Sorry, I should have been more clear. Just, there's a lot of prep work that sometimes goes into our meetings to make sure that we get our packets on Friday, and then spending the time to make sure we're prepared when we get here. So just understanding that it's more than just coming to the meeting. So I was just making sure you understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's
I reviewed the agenda tonight, and I reviewed last few months' meetings. So I familiarized myself with the process. Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Council, any other questions?
I have none.
Thank you so much for coming up here.
Mr. Spurlock.
Mr. Burris, who is,
Oh, yes.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry, sir, we have one council member that had to be out of town for his job, which he very seldom does.
Mhm.
So that is Mr. Burris.
Yes, ma'am.
I got it. I'm on. Can you guys hear me?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Hi, Mr. Brown.
Yes, sir.
Can you still hear me?
I can now. Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Hey, thank
no.
Mr. Spurlock, it keeps muting me. Mr. Spurlock? I'm not sure why it keeps muting me. Fair enough. Thank you. Mr. Brown, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Just congratulations. You are newly graduated, is that correct?
Yes, sir. I am.
Fantastic. And how long have you lived here in Tontitown?
For the last 4 years.
4 years, great. You're a property owner here?
No, sir.
Okay. And I understand you've got some involvement with various things, and I appreciate your interest. There's a great Bible verse in 1 Timothy. It says, don't let anyone look down on you because you're young, but you are young.
Yes,
So
sir.
how do you use the experience that you have to use your youth not as a weakness, but as a strength?
That's a very good question. I appreciate it. Being a recent college graduate, I through the business school, one of the main things I would say I learned there, and I majored in entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship is all about being a self-starter and getting out and doing things on your own, and being confident in being able to do those things on your own. And so, to your question, I think my youth has a lot of benefit in having fresh eyes on the community, in being recently educated in research, and being able to put together And as I said, again, research new technologies and new ways that may be able to benefit the city, as well as educate myself on the issues that come up on the city council and answer them and vote towards them in the best of my ability and the best of my knowledge.
Interest in living here and purchasing property here and being a long-term citizen? Or is this something that just seems like a neat experience for now? And by the way, it is. But what's your, your 5-year, your 10-year plan?
So I
Here.
I live on Steel, and I don't plan on moving anytime soon. So I do plan on being a long-term resident of Tontitown. I currently work in Springdale, but my family works in real estate, and so I foresee a possibility of investing in Tontitown and working in Tontitown more, as well as in Springdale. And so to answer your question specifically, I do plan on being a long-term resident here, yes.
Appreciate your answers. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your questions. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
All right, our next person is Rick Castellan. Thank you, sir. Sorry, I mispronounced that. Rick Castellan.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
So I don't have an agenda, really. I've been on city council for Branson for 4 years. Have success in it. I was one of the front runners for the new fire department, the new police department. They turned a theater into a police department. I've been a resident since 2019. I live on Ciola. I'm a property owner. My wife has a practice here in Rogers as a dietitian. And do I have family in Missouri? Yes, that's where I'm originally from. Do we plan on staying here for a long time? We do. That's the reason I moved down here, was to help a gentleman open a business down here, and COVID hit, and it was the wrong time to open a business at the time. And so right now I do outside sales for spec building materials.
Council, does anyone have questions?
Kind of have the same
Same.
questions.
Yes, Mr. Montez, go ahead.
Why do you want to serve on the city council here in Tontitown, and what specific issues do you see being something that needs the most attention?
I didn't think I'd get back in politics, just being honest with you. If you've ever been to Branson, it's not the easiest politics you can be in. It's very tough. I was asked by my subdivision. A lot of people reached out to me and said, hey, would you please consider running for this position? I don't have an agenda why I'm running. I mainly think sometimes it's great to have new blood on the board and someone seeing from the outside that's not lived here all their life.
And you live, what subdivision is that? South
Westbrook subdivision.
Westbrook, okay. And then how would you balance supporting growth and development while protecting existing residents and the city services here we provide?
I think you have to listen to the residents of what. I think you have to listen to what the residents want more than what your personal agenda is. If you listen to what people say and they tell you, that helps you lead to where our community should go. Does it always lead the best way? No, but I think you have to involve the community in everything that gets involved that we do. As a board, you have to involve the community to get input of what they think of what we should grow. And I think sometimes you have to step back and say, okay, fast growth is not always the best. Sometimes we get ahead of yourself and you get fast growth and it's a disaster because we don't plan it the right way, or we just think fast growth is good because it's going to bring more money in, and it's not the best way to always do it.
Okay. And then do you have any personal business or family or financial relationships that could create a conflict of interest while voting on city matters?
The only thing that would be a conflict of interest is if a roofer or supplier was someone that I deal with would be on conflict of interest.
I think that might come up in a planning commission role more than There are some things that come from there, but yeah, I could see where that could come into play. And then do you have any foresight on anything that would prohibit you from fulfilling your duties here at City Hall? I mean, I guess you've spoken about being on the city council down in Branson. Was there any instances there that it prohibited you from coming to city council meetings there that you could foresee?
Once was a heart attack, and I had it the day before the city council meeting, and the other time was the death of my family.
But as far as going forward, you don't foresee
No,
anything?
sir.
And then one other thing that I've kind of did some research and found out was there was a couple of protection orders that were put on you back in 2020 and 2013. Do you foresee any conflicts that would come up and bring Tontitown into the spotlight?
No, no, I do not. And I wish my wife was here to explain that. It wasn't her. It was a lady that I recently divorced. We lived on the same street. And she went to the courts and thought that were stalking, and we actually lived like on Ciola. One end, she lived the other end, and we crossed paths a lot. And she thought I was following her, and I wasn't. And I didn't have a choice on that.
Okay. This is something the judge put in place.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. And then for the first one, was there any kind of mishap on that one? Was that the 2021 or the 2013?
The 2013.
Okay.
Okay, you're going to get into the woods on that to 2020 was my election time,
Mm-hmm.
and my opponent ended up dating the lady that I was no longer dating at the time.
Mm.
And he said the only way he could beat me was to get that reorder against me.
Gotcha. So rigged by the opponent. Okay. I don't have anything else.
Okay, anyone else? If you have questions?
No, he's been a council member before, so I feel like he would understand what's expected of
And
him.
I will tell you, there is one more thing, KY3. I don't want to be it's nothing I do is hidden. I walked out of a city council meeting and two other aldermen followed me over a vote that the mayor overturned my vote. And yeah, exactly. The mayor overturned my vote because I vote absent. I'm not absent, abstained. I abstained the order because I didn't approve of the object at the time. I wasn't ready for it to go forward. He overturned me. I walked out. Two other aldermen followed right behind me because they said if my vote doesn't count at the time, then why was we our city council meeting? So that's going to be, if you look at ky3.com, it says it right on there. Alderman Rick Castleton walked out of a city council meeting because he didn't agree with what the mayor overturned his vote. I'm very thorough about when I do my votes. I think it's my vote, not the mayor, not the attorney. It's nobody's vote. It's my vote. And we were back at the meeting the next week and we voted again and went on.
Mr. Spurlock, does Mr. Burris have questions? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Wojciech, let's go ahead and go with you.
Yes, I don't mean this to be demeaning to you in any way, but it's pronounced Chola, and so.
Oh, I was told Ciola, so sorry.
Hey, coming into Tontitown, you might want to familiarize yourself with some of these Italian surnames. And secondly, just out of curiosity for myself, what are some of your neighbors, or who are some of your neighbors who ask you to run for the position? Because I know a lot of people in that neighborhood.
I'd rather not say, because I know there's other people that are running for that position too in the neighborhood, and I don't want them to be called out.
Okay, fair enough.
Mr. Wojciech, do you have anything else? No? Mr. Burris?
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Would you pronounce your last name for me again? Is it Castellan?
Yes, sir. Just like it looks. I always tell people Castillon, just Castellan.
Castellan. Okay. Thank you. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So I think I caught you say that you are a property owner in town. You own a
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. And how long have you been in town?
Since
You said
2000.
2019?
Yes, sir.
And you lived on Chola since 2019?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I understand crazy things happen, and I appreciate the other council member asked the question. As I did my homework, I noticed that as well, and wanted to mention that. And I'm so sorry to bring up weird things. I know that weird things happen. I know that things don't always go the way that we want them to in life. Unfortunately, there are those two orders of protection, and then the news article of you walking out. I'm sure you know this, but Tontitown has a history of being an odd place politically. I did not know that about Branson, but I did know that about Tontitown when I first got to town, and it is a very odd thing. So I would have some concern just about sort of turning up the volume on what can be a political circus at times. And again, I don't even know how to ask the question, but inherent in your past are some unfortunate incidents. So I guess the better question is, how have you been able to move past those things, and how can we be certain that some of that, for lack of a better term, craziness, how do we keep that from following?
I'm with my, well, she's not my wife, she's my fiance. We've been together since 2018, and we moved here because she was in Little Rock and I was in Branson. So it was a neutral place to be because of the new business we were open to. But I don't see anything. I mean, I'm a lot calmer than I used to be. We all get older, mature. When you think you love someone, sometimes you do something you shouldn't do. And I don't ever see that happening again.
All right. Well, thank you. What brought your interest to this? I know you said you want to get back into politics, but what was it specifically about this? It was neighbors, and I recognize that you may not want to mention them. Are any of them here to speak on your behalf tonight?
No, sir, they are not.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks. Appreciate your interest.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. That is the only two that I have.
Mr. Wagner is.
Mr. Wagner, I did not receive your application.
I provided my letter of interest to every alderman. As a review of the state law, I found no requirements to have a clearinghouse through the city hall, so I went directly to the decision makers that make this decision.
Dan.
First of all, I've owned land in Tontitown actually since 2004. I've owned it since 98. However, that was in the county, so it was annexed in 2004. I have lived at 409 Penzo for a couple of years, and that's my house of domicile. I own property in Tontitown. I have served in, well, let's go back. I was raised in rural Arkansas, worked my way through Arkansas Tech University, graduated in 1972, so it gives you some kind of idea how ancient I am. In 76, I graduated. Took a job Monday following my Friday graduation, went into the animal health business, which I worked my entire life. I helped build an animal health business and a generic drug production facility, along with sanitation supplies for poultry processing equipment and houses and stuff. Had operations in 7 states and a manufacturing facility. I sold that, and around 2000, time flies, you're having fun, around 2000, and to a publicly traded company. I served as a division manager for them for 3 or 4 years, and didn't like trips to Newark, New Jersey. If you think That's the garden center. I don't want to be there. But anyway, they call it the Garden State. Since the time of selling my business, I have been involved in commercial real estate, owning and leasing operations. I've had extensive experience in budgeting, operations, contracts, and such in my professional career. As far as Tontitown goes, I was the Tontitown Water and Sewer Commission Chairman. I was the Tontitown Planning Commission Chairman. I served as chairman for the Northwest Arkansas Conservation Authority, where Tontitown sends its sewer. Also a chairman of the Washington Water Authority. I've taken an active interest in Tontitown city government. I believe my broad professional and civic experience can be valuable in filling a vacant position. I'd welcome any questions that any of you folks have got.
Council, is there any questions?
Kind of have the same questions. You did kind of highlight a little
We'll
bit. of those.
repeat them because
Yes,
my
sir.
memory is kind of,
Yes, sir. Why do you want to serve on the city council here in Tontitown, and what specific issues do you find will be at the most important on your tenure here?
well, of course, I've alluded to my interest in Tontitown doesn't start tonight or last week or whatever. It's been here for about 20 years.
Yes, sir.
I want to see the town do good. I think when I moved in, it was like 1,500 people. And now we're somewhere around 9,000, depends on which numbers you look at. Been a tremendous change. With change, you've got to change. The city's got to change. The way they run their business has to change. But change needs to comply with Arkansas law. We need to be very transparent in all operation. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir. Do you, how would you support balancing growth and development while protecting existing residents and the city services we provide?
Well, I've often said when I served on the planning commission, in my thoughts, you know, and maybe it seems a little bit overblown, but I feel like Tontitown could be the next Brentwood, Tennessee, or Plano, Texas, if we manage it properly. Unfortunately, there's a lot of discussion right now about housing affordability and everything. So you've got a balancing act. Recently, I won't say recently, but within the last few years, Tontitown, I'm not sure abolished, but I think they put on hold what's known as R4, which would be 4 houses per acre roughly. I'm not necessarily opposed to that, and I'm going to point to a little community I think Mr. Farr lives in called Harbor Meadows. The density of those houses are even more dense than R4 would be. And if managed properly, I don't think anybody that's ever drawn through Harbor Meadows says this looks like a junked up place. So we've got to be conscious of the balancing act. Everybody would love to live on 5 acres and have a pond to fish in and a lot of nice things. But in real world situations, as this area grows, I'm not sure everybody's going to be able to do that. So we've got to keep that in mind when we are considering housing densities and other things.
Next question would be, do you have any personal, business, or family or financial relations that could create a conflict of interest on any voting matters here on city council?
I don't think so, but I'll expand on that somewhat. I own a building that I lease to a metal fabrication ATV accessory place at 2049 South Barrington. I own approximately something over 120 acres in town. I have a subdivision known as Northern Trace. It's been gone through large scale approvals by that, following every code and every development code that is on the books. And I'm familiar with that. So I don't think I have any conflicts whatsoever.
Mr. Wojtkowiak.
Yes, sir, Mr. Wagner. Thank you. Your disputes with the mayor and the city have been somewhat of a thing that's in the news for Tontitown. How can you assure the body and the populace that those disputes don't transform themselves here and personal differences can be set aside.
First of all, Mr. Waskoviac, thank you for bringing this up. Certainly, I have no personal issues, but when a politician, whether it be this mayor or anybody else, does not follow the letter of the law, as was decided and agreed upon in an illegal exaction suit, which I prevailed in, I asked you as a council member and others for several months to take some action. After several months, no action was taken, and I filed the lawsuit. I don't think individuals, whether they be citizens or otherwise, filing a lawsuit against any governmental individual is a new item. As a matter of fact, I think I read today that the governor of the state of Arkansas is appealing a ruling that came about. I know of two other occurrences in the Washington County Quorum Court where a Quorum Court member sued the body that she sat on because they violated FOI. And in fact, she prevailed in that, as I recently have prevailed in an FOI lawsuit against the mayor. Unfortunately, the council as a body had to be named. I think Mr. Farrar expanded on why it had the lawsuit had to be fashioned that way. So again, as long as we're transparent and following the law, I don't think anybody's got to worry about lawsuits. But when you cross over the line and after repeated requests, directions, or ability to take ownership that you made a mistake and step up, whether it be to pay the money back yourself or in the illegal exaction, or just simply say, here's what I provided, you're lying, you file that. Again, the rest is history. Again, to your underlying statement, it ain't personal. It's what the law says.
Mr. Wojciechowski, do you have other questions? Okay, expanding on that, have you ever harassed anyone in the city besides myself and my family?
I don't know that I've harassed your family, ma'am. If harassment is considered by asking why you're building, which you misled, I believe, the planning department to obtain a so-called private shop. And in fact, when that private shop was built, 82 days later, vehicles from the city of Tontitown were being serviced, and you paid, or the city paid for those services. I called to your attention, you might have a memory lapse here, but I called to your attention that unfortunately that building was sitting on agriculturally zoned property. No commercial property is allowed, or no commercial activities is allowed on agricultural property. You promptly went to seek a rezoning from the planning commission, which they turned it down. You appealed as provided in law to the city council. They overturned the planning commission. Then the question becomes, had you properly identified this as a commercial operation, assuming it would have been, which after the fact, you got it zoned properly where the operation of whatever you call that business to do could operate, there's a requirement for any commercial development to go under what's called a large-scale development program. You didn't do that. You skirted that. However, that does not relieve you of the responsibility of having proper septic connections, which you did not have, to the Arkansas Health Department. And to this day, I'm not sure your building is complicit with the American Disabilities Act. So when you say harassment, when I point out the things that are lacking, whether it be to the city council, whether it be to the Arkansas Health Department, or whoever the governing body is, I don't call that harassment. I call that facts.
Yes, sir. Well, we disagree on that because the building had nothing to do with me. But
No,
my
of
next,
course not, but you paid for the building permit and you said it was going to be a private property. It's on your property.
sure, I wasn't involved, but we'll move on.
Okay, move on.
We will move on. How has your conduct been in other city council meetings or COW meetings? How has your conduct been, sir?
My conduct has been nice until someone, as the video, which is better than your rehashing of it, because the video shows that you weren't even seeing what was going on the last cow meeting. And I'll let my attorney and the records of the video and the testimony of 10 eyewitnesses speak to that.
All right. And so, besides hitting someone in the chambers last week, was there any other time that you conducted yourself that way with other city people, citizens,
No, ma'am.
employees?
No, ma'am. You care to point one out if I did?
I was asking,
And I told you I did not.
and I said, okay, we're moving on. How would you handle knowing this about you? How would you handle
Knowing what about me? Please clarify.
knowing what had happened last week with the issues that happened? How would you handle disagreements with any of the council members that are up here? If you didn't agree with what they voted on and they didn't vote the way you wanted, how would you handle that situation?
Well, let me regress for a moment. I operated in a fairly large arena in the business world. And in fact, as a division manager, the publicly traded company I had about 13 or 14 different directors that we met monthly in Northville, New Jersey. I've never had to feel like I've had any problems with anybody, because when I come to a meeting, I've got receipts. I've got the facts. I present my facts. I've not always prevailed, but most generally, when it was dealing with things that I had firsthand knowledge of, I had no problem. And it was a decision similar to what this public body would be doing. I don't know that they recorded the meetings like this, but I have no problem. I've probably been in more public meetings, public boards than you've been, and I've been able to stay clear of any problems to this date.
That might be debatable. Does Mr. Burris have any questions?
I do. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Certainly.
Okay. So, in light of the questions that I asked Mr. Castellan, I'd like to ask you some that are in the same vein. Politically, Tontitown has been a circus from time to time. Unfortunately, I fear that there are several people, myself included, who have been caught in your crossfire. That's not necessarily problematic, but it does raise the level of political theater of the circus, so to speak. Unfortunately, I think in the line of questioning that just happened with our mayor, it's obvious, I think, to anyone within earshot that she's not a fan of yours. So if you were chosen for this position, how, and perhaps you feel like you've already answered this, but how would you be able to work with each of us in such a way that these hostilities are kept to a minimum?
First of all, Mr. Burris, when I take up a topic, again, I try to ask each and every one of you to read what the rule book says, that being the Arkansas Code Annotated or City of Tontitown codes. As far as being caught in the crossfires, one particular one I'll take up with you is I requested you to take action against Washington Water Authority when they were charging Tontitown residents for plumbing permits, which duplicated the expense. You told me you were going to do it, and it summate was maybe we can act nicely. So as a result of that, I took the cease and desist letter that the city of Elm Springs had provided to WWA for the same such actions. And they refunded the plumbing permit. I will ask at this time, since you brought the subject up, has the city done any due diligence regarding other houses that's been built since, and the minutes I have provided you, that the administrative director of WWA violated state law, which has been on the books since 2017. This resulted in plumbing permits charged to any new house during that time period. Has the city council explored that? Have you explored that to send a cease and desist and request for those people to be reimbursed, as I did myself after I was unable to get action from you?
Well, that I understand your point, and I don't mind going down that path there and
Sure.
talk about that history.
Sure.
Let me try to be a little more specific in my question. I think it's fair to say that our mayor is not a fan of you personally. You were involved in an altercation 2 weeks ago. There was a gentleman, I did see that. I was an eyewitness to that. I saw what happened, and it was an odd situation, to be certain. But the way that has been treated was as though somehow you were alone in that. I understand that there is some order of protection or something like that, a disorderly conduct for you, and that other person engaged in that action is a non-citizen. But my question is more along the lines of, if by some chance you're appointed to this position, there seems to be a hostility specifically between you and the mayor, and I'll take it further. There is a Facebook page called the Tontitown Community of Tontitown Facebook page, which is not the city of Tontitown. I'm not able to see it. I have been blocked, but that page is run by a woman who lives in Oregon, who has acted as the mayor's campaign manager in the past, and I know that she is not a fan of you, and you are not a fan of her. In fact, I've been caught in the crossfire between the two of you. But my question is, how do you quell the hostilities of the mayor's campaign manager, especially if she runs again, and the mayor herself, if you are in this position?
Well, Mr. Burris, might I add, you give a very open-ended question, but to fill some holes in that, the Facebook page that you mentioned is at least authored by a felon who still carries a record as a felon in Washington County, Arkansas. She was the mayor's campaign manager. At least at one point, she described herself in an ADEQ report as being her housekeeper. Whatever the relationship is, I really don't care. We can talk about personal differences. I'm here about government. I'm not here about, having a problem with individuals. I'll deal with what seems to be the issues for the city, and I think we need to put a whole lot more attention on those kind of things than talking about personal disputes. But since you brought this up, let's bring an example of what I've just said. In September, the council was discussing, after 5 years of continual complaints from citizens in the South Penalto area near the lift station about odors. And at that time, some individual said if we only had a pre-treatment ordinance, this wouldn't be a problem. And I took a little bit of umbrage with that because I went back and looked at your codes and made sure that they hadn't changed since 2005, which I was instrumental while on the Water and Sewer Commission, that they basically were a carbon copy of a little town called Springdale next to us. And in fact, there was pre-treatments there. That being said, I also, in review of those ordinances, discovered a little bit of an anomaly in that sometime in the years past, the city council decided, or the citizen decided it was better that water and sewer operations be run from the city council. However, if you look at your codes today, the definition section says control authority. The control authority is identified in Tontitown's ordinances as the Tontitown Water and Sewer Commission, a defunct organization for several years. I call that, and I copied all of y'all on that. To this day, I've not heard any people saying, well, maybe we ought to address that. However, in addition to that, there was a meeting on November 20th of last year. I believe Mr. Waskowiak, you were present. I believe you were present, Mayor, and Mr. Latham. And you went to Waste Management, and Mr. Waskowiak said that you told them you were going to have to do a pre-treatment. I think Waste Management's answer to that was, yeah, we know. Wondered when y'all was going to ask. And they said, well, you got to do it. And they said, what limits do you want us to meet? And after a few blank stares, you come back, scratch your head. Nothing happened. Then maybe 2 or 3 months ago, an individual from Garber Engineering stood up here, seemed like a very intelligent man, and spoke to the fact that he had been retained by the city to determine what discharge limits for the leachate coming from the landfill. Now, I would note also, I pointed out in the September leachate received from Two Pines landfill, which is also owned by Waste Management in Jacksonville, Arkansas, does not have any limits. However, it's entirely up to you people to set that. And I know none of y'all are qualified technically, nor am I. That's why you hire people like Garver. But folks, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. And to coin an old advertisement, where's the beef? What have you done? So I hope I've answered your question, Mr. Burris.
Well, I think what you're trying to say is that you are more interested in the business of city council than the personal politics. Is that, am I understanding that correctly? Or I don't mean to put words in your mouth.
Well, and you certainly won't put words in my mouth, but I think I understood what you said, and I believe you pretty much are spot on.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate your interest in the position. And what specifically prompted you to provide a letter of interest in this?
A vacancy in my ward.
I think I understand your history enough to know that you haven't served on city council in the past. Is that correct?
That is correct. I gave you
Okay.
the roles I've served in the city. I also would mention I was also appointed as IT director because the last year I had my business, I had spent about $250,000 on my IT budget, and I'm damn sure not a IT expert. When I was going to college, the Commodore had just come out. So that tells you how old I am. 8.5-inch floppies were state of the art. 5120 IBMs were really special. But as we progressed, I had programmers as well as hardware people. We wrote proprietary programming for batch operations in the plant. So I did have a little bit of working knowledge of IT. And at this point, I don't know what else I need you to ask, but go ahead and ask whatever you want to.
Well, so my question is, I understand that there was an opening, but you haven't run for city council before.
I have
So
not.
was there something in particular that prompted you to be interested this time around?
As I told you, a vacancy in the ward. I feel like I have had experience that if you or whoever chooses to seat me, I can sit in that chair and speak somewhat confidently about municipal activities from day one.
Okay, well, thank you for your answers. I appreciate it.
I have one more. So you're saying that if you're able to sit up here in the seat and don't agree with someone, you won't call them the city Mexican like you have our engineer. You won't call people illiterate, or you won't.
Ma'am, do not fabricate lies, and I will
Sir,
not.
I am
I will
not.
not stand for that.
Sir,
I
am
did not call your city engineer, which he's not your city engineer. He's a consulting engineer. So please, ma'am, I have taken all of the retreaded lies that you and the Community of Tontitown Facebook page has put up there. So I'm not gonna tolerate you lying.
Sir,
You can say anything else you want to, and we can discuss the city politics, but I'm not going to stand up here and you perpetrate lies against me. Okay?
Sir, I was there. It did happen.
It did not.
And the illiterate, you called my assistant illiterate. I have that in email, sir.
That's right.
And you've also said you have a second grade education. You don't need to be up here. I mean, how can you?
I don't recall telling anybody a second grade education. If you want to bring out, rather than paraphrasing, let's bring out the email. I gave the, oh, by the way, the custodian.
Sir,
let's-
I was
let-
not. I was
No,
not-
no, no,
I was
no.
not-
You asked the question of me, so I'd like to have
And
the
I wasn't
opportunity
finished.
to answer.
You interrupted me, and that's why
Well, carry on and I'll
Thank you.
answer you then.
Thank you. Anyway, like I said, you had said something about the second grade education, and also about, you said you don't harass people, but yet you sit at my property for months at a time. For months, you came and sat at my property, which made me very uncomfortable and my family. So I can see that you're getting upset about this. So you go ahead, sir.
Ma'am, you can keep spewing untruths as long as you like, but I stand by my statement.
Anyone else?
Yes.
I do have it. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Burris. Mr. Wagner, we've heard some statements by the mayor here tonight. Were there any altercations where the police came and cited you for stalking or put a no contact order on you?
No, sir. As a matter of fact, to carry on a little bit, the resident of Prairie Grove, Arkansas that was here the other night, and I'll refer to the video, it's much better than anybody's statements, and although there's 10 people that gave statements, he accosted me on my personal property in the presence of two other individuals, which corroborated everything I said. He made a false police report that I hit him. Videos don't indicate that. And this guy, which you have no problem looking at the videos of prior city meetings, he continues to sit on this side room, then he'll get up and he'll start videoing like he did when I was talking to Mr. Clark the other night, and get within my personal space and just continued. And this has went on for about a year. So anyway.
Thanks, sir.
Anybody else? Mr. Burris, you had more questions.
I'm okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Council?
I move that we go to executive session to discuss the appointment.
So noted.
I'm sorry? Yes, ma'am.
Hey, the May 9th, the meeting is back in order, and Mr. Montez.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to make a motion that we appoint and swear in Mr. Mick Wagner for the vacancy here on city council. I'd like to make that motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Daniel,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Misty.
No,
Motion carries.
passes.
All right, we'll go ahead and get sworn in. Podium. Go to the podium.
Oh, okay. New Testament. John 3:16.
I didn't bring my Bible.
That's right.
I, your name, do solemnly swear
I, Mick Wagner, solemnly swear,
or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
And I'll faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of city council member or alderman
of this office as known as the City Council or Alderman
for the city of Tontitown,
for the City of Tontitown,
which upon I am now about to enter.
which upon now I'm about to enter. Thank you.
Fill this out. Already signed it.
Okay.
Name, address, and give it to Ms. Artemani, please.
I'll do it. Now, take a seat.
Take a seat.
All right, we'll move on. 10, old business. An approval of a proposed amendment to 153.172 detached accessory dwelling units sponsored by Mr. Spurlock.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the council. You guys have before you, and we've discussed this at the committee of the whole, asking for an affirmative vote to replace our code with this. I think we have everything in order, so just ask for a affirmative vote.
We pretty much discussed
Yes.
this in the past. Does anyone have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay, then I will need,
Motion to approve.
Do I need to read this? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
the ordinance. Yes,
Yeah.
sorry.
No problem. An ordinance amending section 153.172 of the Tontitown Municipal Code regarding detached accessory dwelling units, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
No, I need a second. I don't.
Oh, I thought we had a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, Mike,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes,
Misty.
yes.
Motion passes.
I believe.
Oh,
it's-
I'm
Not
sorry,
say
I'm sorry.
Mick.
And Mr. Wagner. Mick.
Okay,
Got it.
moving on. E, an approval of a resolution allowing,
Mayor, there's an emergency clause on there as well.
Oh.
thank you, sir. Emergency clause, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to accept the emergency clause.
Second.
Roll call.
Mike,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Mick, Daniel,
Yes.
Misty.
Yes.
Right, we'll move on. B, an approval of a resolution allowing for payment to Black Hills Energy. Any questions? I need a motion.
Make a motion that we make this payment.
Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Mick,
Sir, you'll have to turn your microphone on and speak into it.
Yes.
thank you. Mike,
Yes.
Misty,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
motion passes.
C, an approval of a resolution to purchase Placer AI software sponsored by Mr. Spurlock.
Once again, I know we've discussed this at the Cal meeting. Do you guys have any questions to move forward? Hope to have an affirmative vote on this.
Mr. Spurlock, if I may speak, is there any,
Mr. Montez, you may speak.
thank you,
You
ma'am.
didn't get permission.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there any alternative ways we could use, get, the information you're looking for without an AI system like this?
Well, I
Just
was,
like the end all.
yeah, I submitted to Cal meeting some comparable softwares for you to review. And at that time, nothing was discussed as far as what maybe we want to look at. But I know Northwest Arkansas Regional Planning has, I don't say they have the end all, be all
Yeah.
of that, but we do get information from them. Sometimes they'll do traffic counts. But I think this is definitely a way to go as we see our city growing, that we can definitely utilize it to solicit businesses and
Okay.
as far as help on the streets as
But
well.
as far as an AI add alternative, what did we have before AI?
We've never had nothing. Just we've had to do street counts on our own, and like I said, information from
Okay.
different sources.
All right. Well, I'm willing to give it a try, so I'll make a motion.
Absolutely.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
I'm so sorry. May I make a comment before y'all vote?
We are,
Sorry, Mr. Burris, we have already had a motion and a second and roll call.
Okay, I appreciate that I'm not there, but if y'all could remember that I am here and ask first, I'd sure appreciate that. Thank you.
Mr. Burris, it's my understanding, sir, that you're not allowed to vote on these.
That's right, ma'am. You're absolutely correct. I am not allowed to vote, but I am allowed to comment.
I understand. Okay, sir, I'm sorry. I will make sure that I acknowledge you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I appreciate that.
Okay, roll call.
Larry,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Misty,
yes.
Mick,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right, we'll move on to A, an approval of a resolution allowing the city to move forward with the 412 Barrington project. Any questions? Okay, seeking a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
I have one clarifying question. This is with the tunnel because that's the best route to go because of all the changes could be even more problematic and, okay, just clarifying that. Second that.
Mr. Burris,
Oh.
Could I also make a comment? Mr. Latham,
Mr. Wagner, you need to address me first.
okay, can I speak?
Yes, sir, you may.
Okay, great. Mr. Latham, in the conversation or presentation that was made by the individual, did I understand it correctly that we're proceeding knowing full well that the blind cavefish or whatever kind of species that they discovered was still in question with game and fish of the federal government? But this wouldn't cause a delay. If they say no, what happens?
I think they've identified the fact that from an environmental stand, they've got several people working for an environmental. All we're waiting for is approval by Fish and Game to go ahead and proceed.
But my question was, if Game and Fish says no go, what's the next step? Or does this put this off track, or do we go back to the beginning? That's what I'm trying to understand.
My understanding in talking even with Tim Conklin, because they're the one that's basically are funding this, is that we'll end up, it sets it back up a little bit, but I believe that they just want us to realize that as we proceed and we're under construction and all of a sudden something comes up, that there's going to be a process of how to move forward on it. Does that help you? I mean, I'm pretty confident in talking to the engineer that Fish and Game will come back with a positive thing of moving forward. That's
Any other questions?
I do have a question, Madam Mayor, if I might address Mr. Latham.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Mr. Latham, I totally understand that these species, we may get the okay from Game and Fish. Do we I'm sorry, do we lose anything? Do we lose any time if we just wait for them to come back with that? Because it would seem that we can't get moving anyway before then. I do have some concerns about these species, but what I guess my question is, what's the harm in just waiting until we hear back from Game and Fish before moving forward versus moving forward and then waiting to hear back from Game and Fish?
I think the resolution before you is basically, do you want to move forward with a tunnel and wait for Fish and Game? Or do you want to just eliminate the tunnel? This is the decision. Do we go with the tunnel or we don't go with the tunnel? That's the basic decision. That's the resolution right now. And what I understand from the committee of the whole meeting was everybody wanted to proceed moving forward with the tunnel. So, yeah, we're going to have to wait. I mean, does it delay us? I mean, all we're waiting for is once that Fish and Game comes back to approve it, then we can actually get the plans approved and we can go ahead and start purchasing right away and moving utilities. We have funding available, which was allocated, I believe, last year for this year, which was roughly about 1.5 or 6 million, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Wishkowiak, go right ahead.
Correct me, I thought I understood at the last time, there was basically like, we worked with Fish and Game, Game and Fish to come up with a rerouting, if you will, an alternate solution for preserving the species, getting another habitat, whatever we want to call it, so that we kind of work together and collaborate. And that's why you feel that there's success or chance for success with Game and Fish on this particular issue and that's the
correct.
plans. Okay.
That's correct.
Mr. Wishkowiak, that's the way I understood it as well.
That was a very ham-fisted way to ask that question, and I apologize for the poor wording of it, but I'm glad you understood me.
Okay, no, there's no other questions. I'm seeking a motion.
We have a motion in a second.
That's what I thought. Roll call.
Mick,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Misty,
Yes.
moving forward.
All right, B, an approval of a resolution regarding the Act 848 Artificial Intelligence Policy. Think that was completely gone over at the last meeting.
So I want to reiterate one thing, Madam Mayor, if I can speak. This policy is directed towards staff here, or is it even apply to council?
It will apply to everyone and council
Okay.
will be able to be included.
Okay.
Is this gonna die? Can I have a
Oh, no, I'll make the motion for,
I'll
I
second
thought
it.
I was waiting on
Roll call.
Mr. Burris to come in with some.
roll call, please?
I appreciate that. I have no comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burris.
Wait a minute. Can we have a little discussion on this? For us that are catching up. I think we have a motion and a second, then there's discussion.
Yes, sir. Well, we did all the discussion at the COW and
No,
any
ma'am.
questions?
This is a legislative meeting and there's discussions that occur. Am I
Yes, sir.
right?
What question?
The counselor tells me I'm right.
You are correct.
Okay, so if I understand this, it doesn't prohibit any staff or member of the council from utilizing this in terms of doing research or otherwise. I'm trying to figure out, and maybe I defer to the counselor to my left here, exactly what guardrails is this putting on us that maybe I don't understand at this point.
Yeah, the best I can tell, the legislature passed this Act 848 to basically put some parameters upon AI, right? So I got into this a little bit last time. I know you weren't on the committees. Mr. Burst, do you have a question?
No, Counselor, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
You're good. Yeah. So some of this came up last time, and my understanding is the state legislature basically wants cities to confirm they're not going to write programs, software, and just let that go. And I can't even conceive an example, but you're just going to write an AI program and bill all your water, you do all your water bills through it. So they're essentially requiring training. They're requiring compliance with FOIA. I mean, they're doing various things, but it's basically to regulate AI within the municipalities of the state.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
No further.
And now I do have a comment, Mr. Farrar, if that's all right, Madam Mayor.
Yes, that's fine. Go ahead.
Thank you. So this is passed down from a state level, and this is the verbiage of the state level. So this is one of those situations where we don't have a choice, but we have to make this choice. Is that right?
That's essentially correct, Mr. Burst. The act was called an act to require public entities to create a policy concerning the authorized use of artificial intelligence and for other purposes. And then the statute gets into what is AI and the things you can and can't do. So I believe the sample policy that you are adopting and approving comes from the municipal league. I believe. I don't quote me on that, but yes, this is standard language.
And when you say standard language, it's standard language for other cities, but we don't know where we got this.
I don't know where you got this. I'm willing to admit that. This looks pretty boilerplate-ish. I mean, it's not very detailed. If you look at the Exhibit A, I didn't draft this from scratch. I reviewed it. I don't know the original source material for this, but it does seem in my review to comply with all the requirements of the Act.
Yes, sir. Madam Mayor, do you know where we got this language?
No, sir, I do not. I know that it came from the state. That's all I know. And now I believe the time to ask all of those questions would have been in the COW.
I believe I asked some of those then. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Would you rather I not ask about that now, or is it okay that I ask those?
No, I just thought the question was answered in the COW. And
I see. Okay.
I can't remember at this time, as you probably don't either.
No,
Since you asked
yeah,
the
I
question.
don't. Yeah, I was only prompted to ask where it came from because I did think it came from the municipal league, but when Mr. Farrar wasn't certain of that, I thought you might know that. Okay, thank you.
Could I also make a comment?
Mr. Montez.
Who drafted the policy? I mean, who's forefronting this and brought this? Who was the member that brought this to council?
We received an email, and then it was yes, a notification from the municipal league, and my assistant wrote it up. And
Okay, thank you.
roll call.
Daniel,
Yes.
Misty,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Mick.
Based on the discussions, I abstain.
All right, moving on to C, an approval of a resolution accepting amendments to the employee handbook. I believe we discussed this at length in the COW.
I have no questions.
Ma'am, Madam Mayor, is there supposed to be a copy or red line or something of the changes to the employee's handbook? I'm a little bit
Yes, sir.
taken aback. Well, I don't find it in the packet.
It was multiple pages, so we were sent it through email and asked if we wanted a personal copy that they could send us one or print us one off to save paper for this. It was so many pages, so that's why it's not in front of us tonight.
Well, okay.
I did have an opportunity to review that, Madam Mayor, if I may speak.
Yes, sir.
I did have an opportunity to review that. It seems to me that there are just some changes that happen year to year. I certainly didn't see anything untoward, but it is a relatively long document.
May I speak, Madam Mayor? Mr. Farrar, I believe you did a lot of the red line in there. Would you have any input on what those changes were? Maybe to give Mr. Wagner?
Yes, so it's going to be hard because it was about a 200-page document. It hadn't been updated in a number of years. So I did a pretty thorough review of it. Most of my changes were grammatical and clarifying. There were a couple policies within that I thought a diligent city needed to have, some personnel policies, some FMLA stuff, I think, if I'm remembering, but there weren't a lot of new additions to it. It was mostly periodic cleanup, review.
What was those policies that you said we needed that we didn't have?
I wish I had it in front of me. It's been 2 months at least since I reviewed it. I found at least one personnel policy. The American Pregnant Workers Act changes that Congress passed a few years ago. I basically just brought the city's employee handbook into modern legal compliance.
Well, you're the man that should know that.
So did we
Any other questions?
have a motion in a second?
Need one?
No, we don't.
I'll make a motion then.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Misty,
Yes.
Mike, Daniel,
Yes.
Mick,
Based on not having time to review this thoroughly, I abstain.
Larry.
Yes.
Motion passes.
We'll move on to D, an approval of an ordinance for the city to request SOQs and RFQs for IT services. Mr. Montez.
Yes, ma'am. This is basically a ordinance, including, IT services be included in the, statements of qualifications and RFQs that we send out. That's pretty much all this covers. If there's any questions?
Okay, seeking a motion.
I make a motion.
I will second.
Roll call.
Need to read ordinance.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Ordinance, please, sir.
Read the ordinance.
An ordinance requiring the solicitation and evaluation of statements of qualifications for professional services, establishing a qualifications-based selection process, including information technology services, providing for enforcement and penalties, and for other purposes.
Okay, roll call.
Mike,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Mick,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Misty.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Danny, there's no emergency clause, but it says this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and publication is.
So we will need emergency.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good catch. Let's add that emergency clause in there if that was the intent.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I make a motion, we accept the emergency clause.
Second.
Roll call.
Mike,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Mick,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Misty.
Yes.
All right, moving on to E, an approval of a bid award for the mini excavator for the street department. Mr. Latham? I believe we've already gone over all this. Does the council have any questions on this?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm seeking a motion then.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mick,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Misty,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, moving on to F, an approval of a contract to complete a 20-year pavement maintenance plan for streets. We've gone over this as well. Does anyone have any questions? If not, I'm seeking a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Larry,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Misty,
Yes.
Mick,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Hey, well, moving on to G, an approval of a resolution establishing the process for nomination and appointment for the vacancy of the city council Alderman Ward 1, position 1. Mr. Montez, are you wanting this for the entire council.
Yes, ma'am. In front of me, the resolution doesn't say anything about the Ward One, position one. It's just a resolution kind of laying out future vacancies and giving future councils, an opportunity to have some kind of guideline on what they need to follow, as a nomination process.
Understood. I thought that might have been a typo because it is on our agenda.
Is it on the agenda? Yeah, on the resolution, it's not in there, so.
All right. So, seeking a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Daniel,
Yes.
Mick,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Misty.
Yes.
All right. H, an approval of a resolution allowing the city to enter into an engineering contract for the third-party reviews.
May I, Madam Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Latham, I think I'm clear on this, but just to reaffirm, please, this is on a per job basis. This is not we don't have like a monthly retainer fee or anything. We just contact them when we require their services.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a situation where Zach's firm's basically done a large scale for the police station. So we'll have to have a third party review that.
Thank you, sir.
But those are all usually charged back to the developer. Yeah, third party.
Even better. Thank you.
I make the
Mayor.
Yes. Mr. Commissioner.
Mr. Latham, I don't know any state law cited in this. I assume this is underpinned by state law somewhere.
I'm not aware of that, no.
Okay.
We did do statements of qualifications. I've got a list of, I don't know, 13 or 14 different civil engineering. I asked, this firm has been picked to be able to serve in that capacity.
Well, I was just wondering, I would have assumed there would have been some sort of motivating factor here other than just waking up and said, we need to check Jack's work, which I'm not saying that's bad either. I'm just thinking that probably there was somewhere in the state bid laws or something.
Well, this was not bid. This is
Well,
a professional.
I misspoke,
Yeah,
not
it's-
bid laws, but in the engineering contracts per se.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
There's no more discussion. I'd like to make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Daniel,
Yes.
Misty,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Mick.
Abstain.
All right. We'll move on to I, an approval of an ordinance establishing the mayor as a full-time position with benefits.
This needs my reading.
Yes, sir.
An ordinance establishing the position of mayor as a full-time position with benefits for the city of Tontitown, Arkansas, establishing the salary of the mayor for the city of Tontitown and for other purposes.
May I make one comment, Madam Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I noted all the changes were made, but there were a couple of people that had questions about L, and really this is more for you, Mr. Farrar. Appoint and remove all department heads and city employees not under the direct supervision of the department head, blah, blah, blah. I think it's relatively clear, and maybe this is a better question for some of the department heads out there. How many city employees are not under the direction of a department head? You may have, I mean, everybody's under
None.
the direction of a department head, right?
Correct. That's
And,
correct.
and so the mayor only has firing authority over the department heads. As per this language, I want to just want to
Correct.
make sure I'm reading this clearly. It's only the department heads that the mayor can fire, subject to override by the council. So,
Yeah, that was just your pre-existing language. I didn't start changing things by
Okay.
myself.
and I talked to Chief Jensen about this, and he was one of the persons, I hope I'm not throwing him under the bus, that was a little worried that future mayors may be able to come in and fire police officers, but that is not the case based on this language, correct?
Agree, yes.
Okay. And I will, there's,
Madam Mayor, question for the attorney.
Wagner.
Do you feel like that there could be some cleaning up of this language? You said it wasn't your product, which I appreciate that. A lot of this stuff that you need clean up, it wasn't your product, but do you think it might benefit from just a little clear language to remove any sort
Well,
of ambiguity?
I hadn't until you're having this discussion now, of course. I didn't know that was a problem, but if you guys feel it's ambiguous, if it could create problems in the future, sure, let's change it.
I just think at first reading it, it caught my eye, but I don't know if
Yeah, and again, I until this issue came up 30 seconds ago, I didn't realize there were not any city employees not under the direction of a department head. Of course, there may be in the future, right? I wouldn't pin yourself or a future administration into any corners. I don't know what that would look like, but be careful.
Okay.
If it's not a problem, don't change it. Is my advice.
Okay.
Mr. Burris, I think.
Mr. Burris?
Thank you. Yeah, I do appreciate that. One of the questions that I had, and I believe this would be a Tyler Farrar question, is, or really for anybody, I do believe that it would be possible for a mayor to make a change where there could be people that are hired that are not under a department head. Personally, although I know I can't vote this evening, I would feel much better if we knew that was tightened up. I appreciate you saying, hey, if we don't have a problem, let's not fix it. But I think that could potentially be a problem. I'm not saying that that's a problem in this particular administration, but if that could be a problem in any administration, we want to make sure that that gets tightened up. So I would certainly feel better if that were tightened up, Mr. Farrar.
Well,
and go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, may I make a recommendation right now? If that's what we're gonna do.
Yes,
let's
sir.
Say appoint and remove all the department heads, delete the following words until it gets to subject to the city council's authority. So just strike that half sentence out and we're good, all right? I think that's the language that is bothering folks is, and city employees not under the direct supervision of a department head. We'll strike that.
Okay.
Good with that.
with that, I'd make a motion to pass.
And may I make one other point, Madam Mayor?
Yes.
That
Mr.
just a
Wood, go ahead.
reminder that this doesn't go into effect until January 1st.
Correct. That is
2027.
correct. Yes.
So it's not something that
It
applies.
can't. It has to be with the next election.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, one more comment. It
Mr.
says
Wagner?
with benefits, what benefits?
I believe that well, Ms.
No,
Piazza, would you like?
medical, what the other city employees get, dental, life insurance. They're gonna be leaving their other job to be our mayors. Currently, the mayor does not receive benefits.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, Madam Mayor, if I can make one more comment.
Yes, Mr. Burris.
Thank you. I made this comment 2 weeks ago, and although I do understand that, people are picking up packets now and all that sort of thing, but I do think that we're just a skosh premature. But if I were there, I would vote no on this. Obviously, I cannot do that, but I just think it's just a little premature.
Thank you for your comment. Okay, we have a motion. Did we get a second?
We need a second.
Madam Mayor, I've got another, so the current
Contest.
salary is 72 a year. and
No,
we're-
sir.
62.
61.
I thought we said it was 60 something and what there's a
61.
61,
61, 110.
If it was going by the.
right, by the
census, it
cost of
would've been
living.
72.
So with us not, so it's 61 currently, but with the cost of living adjustments that we should have had, it should be 72.
Are you saying that you are going to let me have that money that is due me?
I would think you should have that amended in the budget if it's supposed to be that way. I would think we would do
No,
that.
this ordinance goes into effect the first.
But so essentially, if things were done the correct way and it was 72, we're only looking at this ordinance is going up to 80,000. So we're only going up 8,000. So, to your comment, yeah, I think you ought to be paid what should be paid to you with the cost of living adjustments that we've given to everybody else. So absolutely.
Yeah, and to Mr. Montez's point, however, that is an 11% pay increase. That's pretty high.
From
And anything, right, from 72 to 80. And per council guidelines, anything over 9 should be approved by council. Obviously, that's where we are here, but 11% raise, that's a sizable increase. And yeah, and then if we are at 61.1, which I believe is what the mayor just said, currently.
Mr. Burris, that's what I'm currently making without the cost of living raises for the last 4 years.
Right, I understand. That is almost a 25% raise. And I concur with Mr. Montez. I wish that you had alerted us to that fact earlier, so we could have done something about that. But by all means, I believe that position should be at 72,000 and maybe should even be at 80. But again, I think it's a little premature with, based on what I have heard from, around and about, at least half of this council doesn't plan on returning. And so it seems like we're making budget decisions for a council that at least 50% of us won't sit on.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Burris. Mr. Montez.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Burris, I just want to tell you, thank you for pointing out the 11% adjustment from the 72 to 11. But I wasn't finished with my comments. On the cost of living adjustments, I got a question for the mayor. Why weren't those successfully implemented to where you're not in the position where we're at today?
That is a good question. I was unaware that was
okay.
in effect, and I was
Never took action.
actually what happened was I'm sorry, I'm not talking to the microphone. Actually, what happened, it was caught by audit.
Okay.
Madam Mayor,
Mr. Wagner.
isn't under state law, it's your obligation to present and prepare a budget to the council. So the question remains, if everybody overlooked it, I guess that would be looking at you, overlooked it, correct?
If you want to put it that way, that's fine with
I
me.
believe that's the way it is.
Madam Mayor, maybe you heard on something? I
Yes, sir.
think there is a prohibition in state law too about a mayor changing the salary during their own term of office, right? And I think that would affect even COLA increases. So I think once you're elected, you're locked into that salary.
Exactly.
Okay. Just want to throw that out there.
So
That's a great point. Oh, I'm so sorry. I can wait my turn.
Yes, Mr. Wishkowiak.
I was just going to ask, so it's 4 years, council makes no adjustments, can make no adjustments. Mayor obviously can't increase his or her own salary. So once it's locked in at the election, that's what it is for 4 years.
That's my understanding, yes.
Make sure it's clear.
Yeah.
We found this in the,
Well,
it was the audit found it, sorry, Madam Mayor,
Oh, Ms. Piazza, go right ahead.
that it was in a policy that Paul Colvin put into place about the cost of living raise. There was an ordinance or a
Yes, Mr. Cole.
resolution put into place that cost of living, Paul put it into place when the raise went into effect for him.
so it's in our code.
It's one of the things I found when I was
Yes.
helping.
Do you happen to know it offhand?
I don't.
Is it under section 30? You have any idea? I mean, I've got the code book here.
I don't.
I don't.
remember.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't.
We
bring that with me.
we're probably, we probably should address this at a different time.
That would be a good idea. Yes, Mr. Burris, you wanted to speak.
Yes, thank you. To answer that last question there, I do remember this happening. I wasn't crazy about it. I don't remember it going into the being voted on, but I do remember as part of that budget process that we had talked about these automatic raises kicking in. That again, that's just a comment, more of a question. I could be wrong on this, but and so correct me here too. If our current mayor is the new mayor in January, is there anything that and maybe this doesn't matter since you can't vote on it, but or if one of us becomes mayor, if Mr. Montez decides to run for mayor, as the same example I used 2 weeks ago, or Mr. Artemani, if we raise this salary and we vote on that, and one of us on the council becomes the mayor in January, I thought that was something that we could not do. I thought there was a cooling off period that prohibited that. Am I incorrect?
Can I read exactly what the law says real quick?
Yes, Mr.
Oh,
Attorney.
please. Thank you.
Arkansas Code 1448-111. C2 says, once fixed, the salary shall not be increased or diminished during the term for which he or she may be elected. So you fix the salary, you elect someone, it's fixed at that amount until you either change it and then someone becomes elected, subsequently. Does that make sense?
Yes, but
But it doesn't answer my question.
Ask your question again now that I've looked at the law, please.
Thank you. By the way, could you tell me that code again? I didn't.
Yeah,
You were pretty quick. I didn't get to write it down.
1448-111.
1448-111. Just a moment. Thank you so much, Mr. Farrar. My question was, I thought there was a cooling off period. So if by some chance one of us becomes mayor in January, if one of us sitting on the council, Mr. Wojtkowiak, Mr. Montez, Ms. Piazza, Mr. Artemani, I have no interest. Thank you. But if one of us becomes the mayor in January, is there indeed, I thought there was a cooling off period that would not allow us to make put a raise into effect and then take advantage of that raise. Am I incorrect on that?
I know of no such cooling off period for salaries. I know a 1-year cooling off period for when a city council member leaves and then wishes to take a state position. But I know of no law that you're referencing right now. I'd have to look into that further.
Yeah, if you can look at Arkansas Code 14-42-107.
Yeah, if you'll bear with me, I'll look
Okay,
at it right now.
while we're waiting on Attorney Farrar to look that up, Mr. Montez?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. It sounds like what I'm hearing, per our discussion earlier, Madam Mayor, there's this ordinance in place by a previous mayoral term where they have a cost of living listing adjustment implemented in there. You didn't know anything about it and weren't taking advantage of that. We're sitting at a $61,000 annual salary. That should be at 72, but now we're hearing that that's not allowed in state code at all. So this is all real. So then it takes, then it kind of, I feel like I've put my foot in my mouth almost where, I said, yeah, you should be taking advantage of that. Should that be the procedure
correct.
going forward? Correct. Because to my knowledge, the last time I heard of mayors running and stuff, I thought we were at a $67,000 annual salary, not a 61. So and that probably would go with that thought process of that cost of living. So what it sounds like tonight, if that's not true per state code, we're looking at a 61,000 to an 80,000 increase. And there's a lot of, this has probably had a lot of commentary amongst us tonight, so I wouldn't be against tabling this item and bringing it up back at the next cow, and giving council and giving us all time to rehash this out and make sure we're doing the right thing. Whether we're talking about going from what the previous mayoral staff has done to going to this 80,000, or whether we're going to stick to the 61, because those are two big numbers to be playing around with.
Are you making a motion to table, or are you just saying that you would entertain it?
Mr. Burris, Ms. Piazza speaking.
I'm so sorry. I couldn't tell. I'm so sorry.
This is going from a part-time position to a full-time position as well, and that is a double in hours. So that also needs to be taken into consideration. When I first presented this to Tyler, I wasn't even putting the salary in there. It was just to make it from a full-time, part-time to a full-time position. I'm not running for mayor. I'm more than happy to take the pay out. I just feel that we're at a spot in this city that we need a full-time mayor here with almost 10,000 people versus a part-time, which worked in the past but does not work now.
Mr. Burris.
Well, to Ms. Piazza's point, I appreciate that. It's a $61,100 part-time job. That sure beats any other part-time jobs I know of. So that's pretty good. My question was specifically to Mr. Montez. Mr. Montez, I'd like to know if he's making a motion to table or if he is saying he would be interested in, if somebody else would be interested in making a motion to table.
I'd like to, I was amenable to letting Ms. Piazza and you speak, but yes, Tim, I would like to make a motion to table this item
Okay,
to the next.
I'm sorry, we already have a motion.
Oh,
Mick made a motion, so if he wants to amend it. Okay. Thank you.
I make a motion to amend it, to amend my motion, to table till the next cow.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Misty,
Yes.
Mike,
Sure, yes.
Daniel,
yes.
Mick,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
tables to the next cow.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to J, an approval of a resolution for the water department to purchase the mini excavator. Any questions? If none, I seek a
Make a
motion.
motion to approve.
Do I have a
I'm so sorry, I was unmuting my microphone. I would like to make a quick comment if I might.
Mr. Burris?
We have talked about this. There is money in the budget. And as I pointed out before, I do believe that we should buy it with cash.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mike,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Mick.
Yep.
Daniel,
Yes.
Misty,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right, we'll move on to public comments. Is there anyone that has anything to say? You are welcome to come to the microphone. Seeing none, is there anyone online? Excuse me? Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon. Am I unmuted? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Excuse me. Some people have been asking, who do I think I am? I want to address that comment. I'm a person exposed to hazardous vapors from Waste Management Ecovista. I live in Washington County.
Point of order, man. Who's speaking? Name and address, please.
Mr. Wagner has called point of order. Council, get to vote yes or no.
We do state name and address, so it's appropriate.
Yes. Mr. Lovett, you need to give your name and address, please.
Yes, ma'am. Kenneth Lovett, Highway 71B, Springdale, Arkansas.
Continue.
Can I continue?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I've tried to make a point over several years that a lot of people just ignore. There are vapors in your community. They are proven by ADEQ, but ADEQ fails to act. You are the host community. It is your responsibility to protect your people. Not hit them in the face, not attack them in the parking lot, but to actually protect the people that are affected by the vapors from Waste Management. If you can't do that, somebody else can for you. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lovett. Any other comments? Seeing none, we'll move on to comments from Alderman. Mr. Wishkowiak.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll try to keep this short. And my comments are going to go to personal level. I know what we do up here is pretty important, but there were some pretty bad things that happened in the past week. Obviously, Mr. Montez got some pretty rough news, and we're all praying that those things will turn out well for you. But on Friday, my boss passed away. He was 75 years old. He was a real good dude. leaves behind a wife and 4 kids, some grandkids. I wish more people would have gotten to know him. Real good guy. Also on Friday, one of my next door neighbors from my hometown of Forest City, he passed away also. Another just stand-up guy, always full of energy. His 3 children and myself and my brother and sister grew up together, still stay in touch through social media. Real sad loss. So, I know what we do up here is important. I get that, but people you love and ones that love you is more important than anything.
Mr. Westcoyak, would you like to us to proceed? Mr. Artemani.
As usual, first and foremost, I want to thank our entire city staff. Couldn't be happier to have them. Thanks for tolerating us tonight. It was a little long, but thanks for putting up with us, and look forward to seeing you next go around.
Ms. Piazza.
Thank you, everyone that came to run for the position. Everyone's up for election. Packets are available. Happy to answer any questions for anyone that's interested. May 31st is the Tontitown Heritage Day. I hope you'll come out and have a good time with us. It's from 12 to 2. Thank you to Red Door and the Tontitown Winery for helping us put that event on. Both have helped us for a few years now, and we're very grateful for the assistance in helping make that event so successful. And a good night.
Mr. Montez.
Yes, I want to thank everybody for coming out here tonight. I want to thank those who put their name in the hat for this vacancy that we had. And I want to thank the citizens for bearing with us as we navigate how to go through this process. As you all know, this is probably my first time to have one of these vacancies and take place in this. Congratulations, Mr. Wagner, on your appointment. And those gentlemen, as Ms. Piazza said, election cycle is here, and packets are here. So if you still feel the need to come and be a help to your service, to your community, I'm sorry, please fill those out and get those back in and have us an election and let the people decide. I also want to thank each and everybody here in the city. Yeah, I got some pretty bad news this Monday night that my son was diagnosed with leukemia cancer. And I just want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart for the prayers. And I don't ask for any monetary donations. We've got, proper insurance, and those things are in place. But I do ask for prayer. I just ask for prayer that you would give those to us and, guide these doctors as we go through this process. And, I came up here just to pick up my packet, and was gifted with some donations that had been collected. So I just want to say thank you. That's not necessary. And if you would like updates, as this came out, I've been putting posts on Facebook and stuff. So that's how I'd like to kind of update everybody. Believe me, I appreciate the text messages, and I appreciate the outpouring of love that I've received, but it does get a little burdensome when you have so many text messages come through. But you do what you need to do. But that's probably the easiest way for me to communicate is through there. thanks be to God that he went through the hardest first treatment this past Sunday and was cleared to come home. So we are home. We are quarantined up to where, you know, he's susceptible to so much illness that we just asked that we get some privacy on that to let him have the best chance of not getting infection. So thank you all. I mean, it's just been overwhelming, the support I've gotten here from my city family here, my church family at church, and just friends and family in general. So thank you all.
Hey, Mr. Wagner.
Thank all of y'all. Look forward to working with you. Danny, you've got my prayers. That's all.
All right.
May I comment, Mayor?
Oh, Ms. Burris.
Thank you. It's been an interesting night. And as you pointed out earlier, Madam Mayor, I don't miss very often. And I don't think I've ever missed calling in even when I have to travel. But I appreciate y'all putting up with me. Madeline and Brad, thank you so much for your help as I've had some technical difficulties this evening. Thank you for that. Mr. Farrar, thank you so much for answering my questions this evening. Fellow council members, I really appreciate you guys. I know I mentioned this a lot. This is a difficult position, and I don't think there's a single one of you that we haven't disagreed bitterly at one point or another. But I want you each to know how much I respect you and appreciate your service. And Danny, Councilmember Montez, regarding your son, my family and I have been diligently praying for your son. I have had the wonderful opportunity to have a horrible week of sleep. And as I wake up, that's who I pray for, praying for you and your family. Mike, I didn't know about the loss of your boss and your childhood friend. I am so grieved. I am so sorry. I'll be praying for you as well. And perhaps the Lord will give me another night of fitless sleep or lack thereof, so I can be praying more for you as well. But thank you again for putting up with me, for not being there this evening. I look forward to seeing you again at the Cal meeting in June. I do have sort of an odd legal point, and I'm sorry to bring it up, but at the last meeting, one of our citizen comments told us they lived at 71B. It was mentioned again tonight. I happen to know, based on the events from 2 weeks back, that when the disorderly conduct citation was delivered, it was not delivered to an address at 71B. I don't know the legality of us getting comments from citizens who do not give us their correct address. I find it odd at the very least, but I think legally, Mr. Farrar, if you could give us some input on that over the next 2 weeks, that would be much appreciated. Regarding the candidates for our city council appointment to replace Councilmember Ibarra, Mr. Brown, Mr. Castellan, Mr. Wagner, I appreciate all three of you for your willingness to serve in this position, for coming out, for for answering our questions. And I'm thankful that we were able to make that choice this evening. Any choice, we had to make one. I am, as you know, was unable to vote for that, but I want to welcome you, Mr. Wagner, and I do hope that we can all, and I trust we can, respectfully work with one another within the confines of our roles, and keep the each of us keep the personal stuff off to the side and do the best we can for the city. Thank you.
All right, thank you. It is now mayor comments. I just want to go over a couple of events on the event calendar. Like Ms. Piazza has said, May 31st is Heritage Day from 12 to 2. Come to the park. This is an awesome opportunity to help or to get involved with your community. Also, June the 27th, Family Fun Day. Put that on your calendar. It's from 10 to 2. There's going to be live music, food trucks, activities for all ages. I would really appreciate all of you guys, all the citizens coming out and supporting these events and getting involved in your community. I want to thank profusely Mr. Scott Artemani. I had a citizen call me this past weekend at night. Mr. Artemani was already in bed asleep. There was a tree that had fallen across Penalto, and the person's car was damaged. And I called him. He immediately said, "I'll take care of it." And he got up after going to bed, getting rested, getting settled for the night, and removed a tree. Didn't get done until after 3 o'clock in the morning. He has done this multiple times and in different situations, and I do appreciate what he does for our city. Mr. Westkowiak and Mr. Montez, I know it's been a really hard week. Mr. Montez, I know that your son is only 5 years old, and that wasn't mentioned, and we are praying for him. And Mr. Westkowiak, we'll pray for you as well, sir. All right, thank you all. I appreciate you staying here for this long meeting. And our attorney, Mr. Farrar, it is time for your comments.
Great, thank you. I am self-aware enough to know that no one wants to hear from me long, so I'm just going to make 2 comments. Again, Danny, I certainly offer my thoughts and prayers with you and your family. If you need anything from me, I hope you know to reach out to me. Certainly through this hard time, we are all praying for you. Echo my colleagues when I say that. Number 2, I welcome Mr. Wagner to the council and look forward to working with him in this capacity. Just sitting here thinking I probably set a record tonight is going the speed of which as an attorney I went from representing the city against Mr. Wagner to now representing Mr. Wagner in course of his appointment to the council. I don't know that an attorney has ever done that as quickly as I just did. So I'm joking. I look forward to working with you in this capacity. You all have a great night.
All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.